Hello, welcome back. This is, I do believe, part 3 of putting this album together. I'm opting for shorter videos so you have a chance to go back and look at something rather than trying to do one great big long one that you're expected to sit through. So we have from part 2 this piece. We're ready to go. Folds nicely, we're wrapped, we're clean, we have really pressed and scored into the gusset here on that black paper. Now, this piece is going to be my spine. This measures across here, if I remember right. Okay, this is 6 inches. It is scored at 1 3/4 and at 4 1/4. And you're going to fold on these. And if you line up right with the edge of that center piece, you'll see that it fits in there perfectly. These will then be the wings for securing it down. And you'll have paper here. We're going to press in here first before we secure this down. We want this down in there. We don't want that buckled up. So let's tape this. I'm always going to start along my score line. I know you guys are probably thinking, well, this is wonky. It's just my style. It's worked well for me for a number of years. I started making albums, gosh, 8, 9, 10, 11 years ago. And I have to admit, I've improved along the way. Picked up things. Change things. Learn lots. I think that happens with every album you make, especially when you have a different designer making them. You learn their tricks. You either use them or you don't. Taped in here. All right, burnish. Get that sealed down, get those air pockets pushed out. Okay, now folding this over. We're going to remove this center one. And I'm going to line, by the way, this, I think I started, this measured 6 by 8 1/4. Okay. I'm going to line this up right at the very edge of that chipboard. Yeah, I found my picker tool. It's easier to get in here, these tight spots. Okay, now I'm going to get in here and we're going to burnish just on this side of that score line because I want that paper in that gusset and I don't want this lifting because I scored after the fact. So we're going to get in here You can, I think maybe you can start to see why I like that 1/4 inch gusset, because we put a lot of paper in there. Okay, now okay, so keeping this in there, really burnish that down. Okay, give it another couple of passes. And burnish that a little bit. Fold. Secure. Okay, let me do a little bit of cleanup here. All right, so now we are, a little tag hanging there. We are now at this stage of the album build. And what I'm going to be showing you next is what I do here. So what we're going to cut is 3 sheets that will measure 8 1/4. And then I'll take you to the next step. So bear with me. I want 3 sheets that measure 8 1/4. I want to keep the length because I'll show you why. Okay, secured, it's even. There's one. There's 2. And here's 3. Now, the easiest for me to show you how I do this is I want a 5/8 gusset between each of my pages. There's going to be a lot that's going to be absorbed when the pages fold over, and I want plenty of room between the pages to allow them to come together and not do this or do this. So I'm going to score at 5/8, 5/8, and 5/8. Now I'm going to then fold back on this. On each one of these. Okay. Got my 3 pages. Now, when I close my book, I want this folded over because this is going to be here in the center. So when this page folds over, I want to be able to cut this so that I have about 1/4 inch from here, so that as the book closes, these pages aren't pushing out. Does that make sense? All right, so turn it back this way. I'm pretending that this is taped in place, and I am going to do a cut. Let me erase this. And then let's see how that measured out. So from the fold to here, it's 8 1/8. So you're going to go 8 1/4 one direction, but you're going to have a total cut measurement of 8 3/4. You're going to do a 5/8 inch seam, and let's get all of those cut. So we are going to 8 1/8, line this up in here. Eight 1/8 because I've folded over my scored edge. Eight 1/8. Now, using 1/2 inch tape, I'll get rid of that mess. We are going to come along this kind of in between, because remember this is 5/8 and you're using a 1/2 inch tape. You're going to kind of come in between the two pieces. Critical to keep burnishing because you want that secured down and you want all those air pockets out of there. I normally work with £100 to 104 pound cardstock, simply because I like the feel of the weight better, especially on the pages. They're sturdier. But Scrap and Create carries the 65 pound weight, which I think you are all used to. So it's my adjustment, not yours. All right, now to insert these will be your pages. I'm going to take this off of there. And this edge right here, remember I burnished really well. I wanted that edge pronounced. I got some tape overhang, so bear with me. Kind of rub that under a little bit. Okay. We are going to line this up right on that edge and put it down. Oh, I just noticed I got that on uneven. See, I tell you, I make mistakes, and I love this stuff. I go through it a lot. Okay, let's get this down here where it's supposed to be. Starting to get the shakes. You guys have probably noticed it. Get a blood sugar issue. And I need to eat. So we're almost done with this, and then I can Sorry, I have a little bit of... Okay, now this one here, this piece is gonna butt right up next to the first one that you put, and you lay it down. You might have to straighten it a little bit, so burnish to the inside. Okay. A little pause there, make sure that's gone away. I don't know what I did with my measurement because there should have been plenty of room here, but it'll work. Okay, now this last one, you're gonna again come right in here, butt it right up there, and burnish it. So now what you have on this side, you have a 5/8 edge, and on this side you have a 5/8 edge, so that this, blood sugars are dropping, so I'm losing my words. So your gussets are going to help absorb any depth that we make by creating the pages. Now, you can finish covering this in black if you want. It's entirely up to you. Or you can wait because we're going to be putting the designer paper on there. And what we're going to be making is we are using the Love Notes collection by Graphic 45. I have one 8x8 packet of Love Notes, and I have one 12x12 packet of Love Notes, and this is the paper that we're going to be using to make this album. So I hope you've enjoyed so far, and I will return. The next step is going to be building the pages. You have a grand day.